Did I say 15? I'm sorry, 13. 13 or 15, I can't remember right now, my goodness. So welcome back to the sawmill, friends. We're going to bale some hay today, but the first thing I need to do is, let me get that off there, there it goes. I got to check out this knife right here on the hay baler. Last time we did hay, it wasn't cutting the twine, so it either needs resharpened or just cleaned, or maybe both. So the New Holland manual calls this a knife, but it looks like a hand plane blade, like a blade, you know, for your hand planes. It's got a bevel on both sides, so it's reversible. And this was the side that we was cutting with last time. There's some rust buildup on there and some yarn. Yarn, if you're not familiar with that word, that's something kind of nasty. Here in Northeast Tennessee, Southwest Virginia, it used to be a common term when I was growing up. I don't hear people mention it much anymore. My grandmother said it all the time. She would say, get that yarn out of the sink or something like that. This means something nasty or some kind of just junk that's built up on something. Yarn. K-A-R-N. It's probably not even a word. But anyways, you learned something today. So anyways, we'll get this cleaned up. I'll go over here, put it on the wire wheel and get that rust off of it. And I may take it down to the wood shop to the whetstones, but that may be overkill, I don't know. Should have done this a few days ago. I don't know why I waited till the day I was going to bale hay to do this. So that right there is a whole lot better, and I think that's sharp enough to cut the twine. If it's not, I'll pay for it out in the field, and I should have honed it. But I think what I'll do here in the off season, I'll probably buy 2 or 3 more of these and have them on hand, so next time I can just switch it out to a new one and sharpen it later. All right guys, I'm gonna put this on real fast and then I'll take the camera and show you guys what it looks like on the hay baler. It's kind of interesting how this works, and it's super simple. And when this is sharp, it works really good. Key word is when it's sharp. It wasn't sharp the last time. Hopefully it is now. Well guys, the plot has thickened. I cut the planer blade on there, or cutter, knife, whatever you want to call it, and I think I just discovered the reason why it wasn't cutting. I don't think it had anything to do with that blade. Let me show you. All right guys, this may be hard to see. It's kind of tight in here. So the twine sits on top of this arm and it goes back and forth and wraps the bale. When it comes back and it's done, it clamps the twine between the knife and this right here. And there's a little gap right there. I don't know if you guys can tell. So when the twine comes back, it's not even hitting the knife right there. That's why it's not cutting it. And I think there's an adjustment right here. If I loosen these nuts, I can adjust this so it rests right up against the knife right there. I think that's my main problem. The knife might have been okay. Let me adjust this real fast and we'll see if it works or not. Actually, we won't see if this works till we get it out in the field, but I'll have a better chance of success if I get rid of that gap right there. All right guys, I went ahead off camera and I made a few windrows over here in the largest field. Should have enough over here to make a few bales. And this will be a good test on the baler to see if I got that string on there right, or the twine rather. These are not too bad. Not as good as the first cutting, but still not too bad. And it's dry. It's laid here for almost 2 days. It is ready to go. And more than likely, this video is going to be 2 days of baling this hay. I got to be somewhere at 4 o'clock, and I've also got 2 loads of logs coming in sometime in the next few hours. So there's a lot going on today. And judging by the sky, we should be good on the weather. There's no chance of rain for about 4 more days, so we'll have to stretch this out till tomorrow. We'll be in good shape right there. All right, guys, had to shut the tractor down for just a minute because I had to go get me some water. And I'll tell you what, guys, I think I got it fixed. Got a nice 4x4 bale right here with this New Holland twine. That's something else I did different. I bought some New Holland twine instead of that generic stuff you get at the co-op. And I think that works a lot better right there. Wraps it tighter. And I had no trouble getting the cut on there to end the process. Used to, I had to get out of the tractor, or not really used to, but on the last time we done hay, on the last few bales, it wouldn't cut it and I had to crawl underneath there with those scissors, and that got old really fast. And that's why I put the camera over here on the strings so I could see in real time the strings stop moving when the process ended. When this right here goes all the way up, it's wrapping. When it comes back down, it gets to this little scissor icon, and that's when it's supposed to cut the twine, and that's what happened that time. So I'm tickled to death right now. And not a bad looking bale right here. Now this baler will do 4x5s, anything smaller than that, but I like doing 4x4s. I think that's a good size. Well, let's jump in the tractor and keep going. I got about 10 windrows over here. Then over there in front of the mother-in-law's house, I got about 3 or 4. Maybe enough for maybe 2 bales over there. We'll do all this and see what time it is, and hopefully we'll get this done before these logs show up. I think they're coming in a dump truck, I'm not sure. It's supposed to be some yellow poplar. All right, guys, we just finished up half of the largest hay field I have. That one's about 8 acres. The rest of it I'm not windrowed yet. We'll do that tomorrow, but we did pretty good. Let me show you. So bear in mind, first cutting of hay this year, we got 76 bales off the whole farm. Last year, first cutting, 35. Last year's second cutting was just 7. It was really low. This is the second cutting this year, and I got 6 so far. These are 4x5s, 1, 2, 3, yeah, 6 of them. Not too bad, I'm pretty happy with that. I was hoping for maybe 15 on the whole farm, but based on what I'm seeing, we may do between 20 to 30. I'm gonna quit guessing because I'm off every time. It will be what it will be, I guess. Tomorrow we'll figure it out when we get done. I was just informed by my wife that it looks like we're going to be leaving an hour early today because traffic's supposed to be bad up on the interstate. So that's going to eat into my time here today, but that's okay. These blue skies are supposed to be here for the next 3 days, and we can easily finish up tomorrow, especially now that we have the hay baler running the way I like it and that twine doing very well. But what we're going to do now is head over there to the mother-in-law's place. I got about 2 acres in front of her house. I windrowed that this morning. It's good to go. So we'll finish that up before we have to head out of town. And that way tomorrow, we got a nice level playing field. We'll do some windrows about lunchtime and finish up the baling. And we'll probably run the sawmill tomorrow also, which will be part of this video. You guys hang in there. All right, friends, I am running way behind today, and I'll explain that here in just a minute. But I started raking at about 1 o'clock. It took a little while for the dew to dry off. Got this field right here ready to go, and also the field right behind the clock house. Now, I was hoping to get all this baled up today and the other half of the big field over there, but there's one problem now I'm going to have to take care of here in just a little bit that will probably put this off until tomorrow as far as finishing up. And that problem is we have an emergency over here at the clock house. Let me show you. So last night when I finished up baling for the day, and the bale count is at 8 right now for those of you that are curious, I come over here, had some water, and sat here and cooled down for a minute, and I noticed the meter over here was pulled away from the house. So this right here is some vinyl siding. That right there is closed in usually, and there's a gap right there. And over here on this side, there's a huge gap right there. So I started looking up to find the problem, and it didn't take me long to realize what was going on. The weather head is bent, and the service coming in from that pole is as tight as a banjo string. Look how tight that is up there. No slack at all in that. And about a year ago when we bought this farm, the previous owner told me that pole right over there was leaning, and it was starting to put some tension on this wire, and it's gotten worse over the year. And it's gotten real bad here in the past few days, because that meter over there was not like that a few days ago. I would have noticed that. But check out how tight that is. That's dangerous right there. If that pulls that weather head off, that could pull the service wire out of the panel, and then you got some arc at that point, then you got a fire. And if you're new to this channel, this is an 1850 log cabin that's covered in vinyl siding. This is where my office is, and also Bruno's clock collection. So we don't want to lose this house. But I tell you what, guys, that's scary right there. Look how tight that is. So this morning I had to call the power company, meet them down here, go over the problem with them, and now we're waiting on the service guy to get out here, and he's going to do one of two things. He's either going to be able to pull this pole the other direction and take some slack out of this line, or if that doesn't work, they're going to have to replace this pole. One of two things are going to have to happen though. This has got to get fixed today, because that right there is dangerous. Can't leave that up there like that. So that's been my delay this morning. That put me behind on doing everything. But when something like this happens, you got to jump on it, my goodness. And as soon as they disconnect power from here, I got to come down here and see if I can get this meter base anchored back to the house and get rid of that gap right there. Water will start coming in, and more importantly, you know, wasp and all kinds of stuff. Just a bad deal right there. So, having said all that, I'll have to stop baling whenever the power company gets here and make sure they don't need anything. So that will put me behind today as well. And Bruno has a birthday party at 5 o'clock on top of all that. So I doubt we'll get everything baled today. It's going to turn into a 3-day job of baling hay, which should take 1 day. But the weather's going to be good all weekend long, so at least we're in good shape right there. If it wasn't for that, I would bypass the birthday party tonight and finish up out here, because this stuff gets wet. That really puts you behind. And also, let me cover one question here and we'll get going. This is a Patreon member. I put up a picture of baling hay the other day and they asked me if this baler was brand new. It's not brand new. I bought it last August. It was new then. I got a heck of a deal on this. I got it for $26,000 brand new. At Redler goes for like 38 grand. I'd go 2 hours away to get it, but it was well worth the drive. And the reason it does look new is because I take really good care of my equipment. Every time I bale hay, I'll wash this down and I put it in dry covered storage until we're ready to use it again. All right, guys, the power company just left. He was able to give me some slack in that line up there, but it didn't fix the problem though. Let me show you. All right, so it did make it a little bit better. When he took the tension off and gave me some slack, the meter base moved in just a little, but not all the way. I don't like that crack right there. Weather's gonna come in there and more wasps. You guys saw that on camera. There was a bunch of nests in there, but he sprayed them and got rid of those. So what he recommended is for them to come back out here, kill the power, have an electrician come out and just redo this right here. Try to salvage this panel if possible, remount it, and also redo the conduit all the way up there to the weather head. That one's probably bent. And this right here as well needs to be replaced. You can see the hub right there on the top is broke. So it needs to be repaired, but for right now it's safe. There's no tension on it. Should be no problem as far as a potential fire or anything like that. He says it's okay, but he did recommend to get this fixed before winter. And I don't do it way before then, actually. I got an electrician coming here in about 45 minutes. So that's gonna put me even more behind, but we got some rain coming next week. And I want this fixed as soon as possible because the rain over here in this area goes sideways sometimes, and I don't want rain going behind this meter base and getting into my walls. That would make a mess really fast. So that's gonna cut into my hay time, but that's okay because we got good weather tomorrow, and tomorrow we can at least finish up. But he's not gonna be here for just a little bit, and that should give me enough time to get on the baler and get all this picked up over here. And I made a few more windrows over there, even though that field isn't done, and the windrows right here behind this yard barn. Should be able to get all those picked up before he gets here. All right, guys, I got up all the windrows we made. The electrician's here now. He's over there on the other side of the meter taking a look at that. That's what's cutting my day short here. But anyways, I got 5 more rows. That ups the count for the second cutting up to 13 for those of you that are keeping score. 13. I'm pretty happy right now. I wasn't going to make another video tomorrow just out here baling hay, but since I am keeping count with you guys on how many bales we get, and a lot of you guys are guessing down the comments, I want to go ahead and finish this up so you guys know how much we get. So tomorrow we're going to finish up this big field, probably 2 more windrows and it's done. Over here in front of my house, I've got about 1 acre over there. Then up here where the cows are going, that's about 3 acres. So we're up to 15. Did I say 15? I'm sorry, 13. 13 or 15, I can't remember right now, my goodness. So contrary to popular belief, this is not going to be a 10-part series on cutting hay, I promise. I know, I've done a lot of hay cutting videos here recently. This is the 3rd day of baling hay, and I promise we're done after today. I promise we'll get back to the sawmilling. This is the 2nd cutting, like I said, the 3rd day, and if you're wondering why it's taking me so long, if you didn't see the previous videos, we had a slight emergency over at the clock house. Bruno had a birthday party, had to go to a funeral. All kinds of stuff happened in the past few days, and it drugged this out to 3 days of baling. But luckily for me, the weather's been perfect for this. And before I go any further, I need to thank somebody for something. Don't go anywhere. So one of you guys sent me a brand new coffee mug, and you didn't put your name on the box, so I don't know who to thank, but I really appreciate it. And whoever you are, thank you very much. And check it out, guys, John Deere. Huh, I don't own a John Deere tractor, but I sure do like them, and maybe one day I'll own one, you never know. But to whoever sent this, thank you very much. And if you're wondering what we're drinking today, as usual, Juniper Mountain Coffee. I love that stuff. If you want to try some of it, I'll leave a link down below. Not sponsored by them, they have no idea who I am, but I sure do like their coffee. It's getting to be a regular on the channel here, just like Joe Maine Silver Tip Turbo 7s. It's an everyday thing here. So the first field we're going to tackle is up here where the cows are going. I got about 3 acres up there to rake. It won't take too long. And if you didn't see this in the previous videos, the total bale count right now is 13. I would love to get 20, but 18 is more realistic. All right, guys, our windrows are done. Now, let's put some grease in this baler real fast before we get to it. And real fast, guys, before this video ends, probably toward the end of it, I'm going to ask you guys a question on how I can solve another problem over here at the clock house. So stay tuned for that and help me out if you can. The good old Milwaukee grease gun. I'll tell you what, guys, if you don't have a battery-powered grease gun, they are truly nice to have. I tell you what. I love this one right here. And I used to have a DeWalt one, and it worked just fine until it didn't anymore, and it quit the other day. That's why I bought me a red one to match all these Milwaukee batteries. All right, guys, we're finally done. I'll tell you what, that 754 with the cab is a great tractor for making hay. I'll tell you what, this is the second year in a row I've used this tractor to bale with. No issues at all. Really good tractor right there and plenty of power. And also, let me brag on this baler right here. This is my second season with it, and I feel like on this cutting this week, I finally got it dialed in and broke in the way I want it. This is the New Holland Roll Belt 450 Utility Plus. Not sponsored by New Holland. And my bale counter is up to 105, it looks like, on the counter right there. I don't have the actual counter, this is kind of funny, that goes on this baler. I bought an aftermarket on Amazon because my local New Holland dealer didn't have them in stock. And the one on Amazon will fit, but it's upside down. But it still works. 105. And before I let you guys go, let me show you my new problem. It's not really a new problem, but another problem we got over here at the clock house. And that problem is groundhogs digging under this house. This is an 1850 log cabin. There's no foundation. It's on piers, I assume. I've never been under, even though there is a crawl space. I was told by the previous owner it's very small, so if I ever have to go underneath there, I'll probably have to hire somebody. But anyways, the groundhogs are wearing this place out. Got a hole right there into this deck, another one right there. And back here behind the house, I don't need to walk all the way over there, but over in the corner, there's another one. Now we've done some live traps down here. I've caught 4 actually, but they keep on coming back. I'm not sure how to keep them out of here. I'm not the first person ever in the world to have this problem, and hopefully somebody out there has already solved it. So if you have this problem, or you had it in the past, and you got rid of them, leave me a comment down below, let me know how you got rid of them. I'd be interested to know. I called some animal specialists around here, and they wouldn't no help. They just come out and set up traps, and they catch them forever. But I tell you guys, once these get out of here and I catch them, a whole new family moves in every time. It's getting old, and I'm worried about damage under the house. So guys, help me out. Leave me a comment below. Thanks in advance. I really appreciate it. All right, guys, so I think I put it on the screen, and if I didn't, the final bale count was 21.5. That last one was kind of small, so we'll do 0.5 on that. But I got over 20, and I tell you what, guys, I am surprised. And my goodness, I left some hay on the ground right there. Look over that, okay? Forget you saw that. I'm a professional farmer. That did not happen. But anyways, looks pretty good out here. I'm pretty happy. All right, friends, I am done here with hay season. I'll wash this thing down tomorrow and put everything up. That'll take me all day right there. It's a whole other endeavor, is putting your equipment up. And sorry if this video was kind of confusing. I was going to do 2 videos over the past 2 days, but I decided just to make it one. So it kind of seemed like there was 2 videos right here on this one. It was actually just 1 video. So look over me right there. I just had to get this done, and I was wanting to take you guys along with me to show you the process. And also for you people that was wondering how many bales we would get, I wanted to include that at the end today so I can show you guys what we got. So in closing here, guys, thanks for watching. I'm exhausted. I'm headed up to the house. You guys have a good one, and hang in there, and I'll see you in the next one.